Yes, so I had my own salon, and I was young and new at it, so it wasn't as successful as it could have been.
But I'm sure you learned a
But
lot.
I did learn a lot, and I never gave up. I never gave up. I continued, and then when my mom won her show, that's when it was like it's time to help her succeed and make sure she's where she wants to be.
Welcome back to the Ground Up Podcast. I'm your host, Keisha Rock, and this is episode 53. Yeah,
Okay.
today we're bringing you Kristen Gardner, owner of Joy Junior Treats Studio and Cafe. Known for her baked sweets, Kristen has been on the Food Network not once but twice, and following in the footsteps of her mother, Food Network Christmas Cookie Challenge champion. Welcome, Kristen.
Hey, hello.
You like that intro?
I did.
I did good.
I was listening like
Yeah. I had to plug all your accomplishments.
yeah, it feels good to hear it.
Yeah, I
Thank
bet. So, I want to open up with your accomplishments. You may be new to Richmond, but you're definitely not new to business. You're not new to baking at all.
Nope.
Yeah, so it's in your blood.
So first and foremost, hustling is in my blood.
Ooh.
I've been doing that since elementary school.
Yeah.
So back when I was in elementary school, we used to make these pretzel rods, and we would dip them in caramel and then dip them in
I can
chocolate.
visualize that,
And
yeah.
it was good. And I remember selling just like the pretzel rod with just chocolate. Those were 50 cents. But if I put caramel on it, we were paying $1.
But wait a minute, where did that mind? We're just getting right into
So,
it.
I know,
Where did
right?
that mindset even come to be
That-
like, I'm going to sell these pretzel rods?
That comes from my mom.
Okay.
Like, she has put that in me. She was like, look, you want to make some money? Let me show you how to do it.
Yeah.
So she
Where's her
showed-
hustle come from?
You know what? I don't know. I think her hustle comes from the lack of hustle
Around her.
Yeah, because my mom, she grew up in foster homes because family wasn't that stable, growing up in the projects, and just not having certain things. And when you don't have and you want, you go get it.
Oh, yeah, you go get it. So that's, she's done that. Like, the success. So when I found you, I was like, oh, okay, something new for Richmond. Like, this
Yeah.
is dope. I got so excited. And then when I started, I do my homework.
I
and I was
saw.
like, yeah, like this Ground Up
She know
podcast
me better than I know
showing
myself.
up a lot. But no, I did my homework. And then I saw, your mom and the business that she's built in Lynchburg, Virginia. So tell me about that. Like, how do you feel like your upbringing and then, like, your mom as, the queen, she's had a lot of success too in this field of baking. How's that impacted you?
So, I've definitely watched my mom grow from doing this to that. So, my mom, she went to school for graphic design and photography.
Oh, wow.
She had this project she had to do where she was supposed to make like logos for a business. But my mom is so extra. When I say extra, she made some cookies as a business to put a logo on.
So she made cookies that had the logo of that business on
Yes.
there. Smart
And
move.
so then she was like, okay, well, maybe we can swing this because my brother wanted to make some money one summer. So she was like, we're going to go to the community market and we're going to set you up. You're going to sell these cookies. And, of course, my brother wasn't there as much as he should have been. So it kind of became
Her thing, yeah.
And my mom's also an artist. And that's where her success started because she's always been an artist. And she ended up on this show called the Christmas Cookie Challenge
On the Food Network channel.
on the Food Network. I got to plug that in. Food
Plug.
Network. And she won.
Yeah.
And she was an amateur up against all these professionals.
Yeah.
And to see her actually win, like, I didn't expect that at all. And
Yeah.
when you do these shows, they film ahead of time. So you have to keep everything on the hush until the show airs.
But so you knew, right?
I
She
did
didn't
not.
tell you?
I did not. So when I saw the show, I was completely shocked.
Were you watching it with her?
Yeah, we had a little airing party, and
Yeah.
we were all in there, and it just blew my mind that she won.
So did it blow your mind? So it blew your mind that she won, like, for her, like you were so excited for her.
I was
But what did that
excited.
do for you? What did that do for your mindset and your journey?
I think at that time, I was more of just being supportive, and I was just proud. I didn't really think that could be me. I never thought that because I was already doing my own thing. I went to school for cosmetology
Right.
in high school, so I've had my license for cosmetology since out of high school. And I've always wanted to do hair. I've always wanted to do makeup. I did nails, and I've had salons. I did a little nail bar out of my home. So
So you were really into the beauty industry, but you
Yes.
were also, doing it as an entrepreneur. So you had your own salon.
yes, so I had my own salon, and I was young and new at it, so it wasn't as successful as it could have been.
But I'm sure you learned a lot.
But I did learn a lot, and I never gave up. I never gave up. I continued, and then when my mom won her show, that's when it was like it's time to help her succeed and make sure she's where she wants to be. And then I kind of got roped into it.
Got roped into
I got
it.
roped into it because I remember, and I keep it real. Like I would tell my dad, he was like, "We're trying to build this legacy for you guys to have and pass on to your kids." I'm like, "This is not what I want. I want to do hair. I want to."
So this really was like a second win for you.
Yes, it really was, and I was fighting my parents to the death.
So how
I'm
did
not doing it.
what brought about the transition?
So the transition came from actually working with my mom and
So seeing the actual.
seeing what she had good product. My mom's got good stuff.
Yeah.
And-
I mean, I went to her website, and I mean, let's talk about her following. She's
Oh, yeah.
this is no small time bakery. Like,
No.
she's big time.
She's
Yeah,
up there.
yeah.
and I'm still in shock of how successful she is and how much more successful she's becoming. I'm still like in shock. I'm like, okay, now that's a goal. I'm way back here. I'm trying to catch up. But working with her and seeing that she had good stuff and the way that people loved her and the way she loved people and the things that she was doing for the community, that's when I was like, okay, this is a good
There's
thing.
something to this, yeah.
And I
So
think,
were you like closely a part of the journey of her getting her brick and mortar?
yeah, because I remember we were standing downtown in Lynchburg looking at this building that had nothing in it but dust on the floor and no ceiling, no walls. And she was like, this is it. And I'm like,
You're like,
Okay.
Oh, you were like, okay.
okay, let's
So
do
you saw
it.
the vision.
I see it. I saw it and I see it. And it turned out beautiful.
Yeah.
It really did. And,
Well, I tell you, the next time I'm in Lynchburg,
oh, yeah.
I don't know when that'll be, but
Yeah. Just watching her soar. And she's been on several different shows on Food Network. So
Wow.
it wasn't just the one. And when she started doing more shows, that's when I was like, I want to do that.
yeah.
I want to do that. I want to see.
She inspired you.
Yeah, so I want to see what I can do.
Well, you're doing it.
I am.
Yeah, you're doing it. So
And
let's
it
talk
hap-
about
and
Joy
it happened-
Jr.
It happened really fast. So
How did Joy? Okay, so two things. How did Joy Jr. come to be? So seeing her do it is one thing, but then being like you want to open your own brick and mortar and outside of Lynchburg. So how did that come to be?
Okay, so let's say I just no hate to Lynchburg, but I cannot stand being in Lynchburg.
from
So
Lynchburg?
I am, and I've been there
Okay.
way too long. So I was like, I gotta get out of here. And my mom was talking about bringing her store to this area, and I'm like, I'm going ahead. I'll do it for you. Just let me go ahead. And then things fell apart, especially with COVID and all kinds of stuff happening. I was still working in Lynchburg, living here, driving 2 hours there, 2 hours back. And a lot of people would look at me like I'm crazy, like, why are you driving this much?
It's a lot of commute. Yeah.
It's my mom. I want to see her
Right.
succeed, and I wanted to make sure that she needed she had what she needed. So I was also bringing stuff from Lynchburg to the people here that were expecting her to be here. So it was.
How did her name grow? I mean, so I know she's been on the Food Network channel. I mean, so is that how people became to know about her? Like, how did her name grow to Richmond from Lynchburg?
A lot of people come to Lynchburg. I don't know why. And then there's a lot of colleges there, and I don't know what else is there, but there's always people coming in saying, "Hey, we're from Richmond. Wish you were closer." And we heard that so many times. So that's pretty much where that started. And then came the Food Network. Then everybody knew about her. And now, I get people that even come into my store. They're like, I saw your mom on TikTok.
Oh,
I'm
she
like,
been
what
on
in the
TikTok
world?
too?
She
I
is.
haven't looked at her TikTok.
She is, and she's always asking me, "Have you watched my video on TikTok?"
Oh, I
I'm
love
like,
it.
Girl, I'm working. What you doing?
Do you get into TikToks with her?
I don't.
You don't.
I don't have time. Like, I'm in that stage of where she was when we were looking at her like she was crazy. Like, she's spending all this time there. She's sleeping at the shop trying to get. I mean, my mom would be at the shop for 3 days straight and not go home.
So how long has Joy Jr. Look, a customer's trying to come up right now.
I told you.
Yeah. How long has Joy Jr. been here now?
So I've been in this area as Joy Junior Treats since April of 2019.
April of 2019. Okay. And so when did the brick and mortar open?
We opened October the 21st.
Of 2020 of this year?
Of this year of 20. Is it, what year is this?
2021. Oh, we're going into 2022.
Yes. Okay, so October 2021. So I opened on the same day that my mom opened her shop because I wanted to.
The same date.
Yeah, so she hit her 5-year mark on that day, so we celebrated her anniversary.
And celebrated the opening of this
Yes,
in
at the
Richmond.
same time.
That's
And
beautiful.
So, but it didn't happen the way I wanted it. We didn't get to do the grand opening, so the grand opening happened on November the 13th. So that's how long we've been in this brick and mortar. And
So what was that like? What's that experience like actually opening up, the bakery and startup costs? How did you go about raising capital?
I legit did a fundraiser through GoFundMe. And I was just like, let me just throw this out here. Because
Were you stressed, like thinking about how I'm going to do this, or you were?
I was definitely stressed because I knew this was something that had to happen. I just didn't know how.
Yeah, but you still did it. You still want to go ahead.
Yes. And because I'm hard-headed. I don't let nothing stop me. So I threw out the GoFundMe, and in a week, I raised more than I expected.
Wow.
Way more than I expected. And then even, I want to say about 2 to 3 weeks later, it doubled.
Oh, wow. What do you attribute that to?
My community and the people that love me.
Yeah.
That means a lot.
Yeah,
it means a lot.
does.
And because I know if I did this 10 years ago, people probably look at me like I'm crazy and would never. Just people can tell and feel your intention, and I know that these people they believe in me and they donated to me, and now I have this space.
And you used it for good, and so once you were successful with the GoFundMe, is that when you start looking for the actual building?
Oh no, I saw this building before I did the GoFundMe, because that was another thing. I rode by this building with a friend one night, and they had the poster in the window that said, "This is yours." And I was like, okay.
Speaking of me.
Well, let me call you and find out how I get it. And then within a month's time, I was signing a lease, and it worked out perfect. Like, nobody gave me a hassle, and this is keeping it real. I don't have the best credit in the world. So for these people to take a chance on me means that they believe in me. So I have that on my shoulders to be successful.
Yeah. I think that's beautiful. I mean, I love that you were like, I know I need to do this, but I'm not sure how, but I'm still going to do it.
And I've got a lot of people behind me, like my landlord. I got to shout him out. His name Craig.
What up, Craig?
Yeah, right. He's helped me so much, like not just in my home, but here as well. Like he came in, did the floors, and him and some other guy from church. What's his name? Scott. So I got to give him his props too, because those two men, they're very smart. They came in, they helped me with the plumbing, the floor, the electrical, everything that I needed. Because in the beginning, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to afford this. I can't pay an electrician $3,000 to put some plugs in a wall.
Oh, wow.
Like,
so you actually had so the person you're renting the building from actually...
No. The person that I'm renting my house from.
Wow.
Yes.
So let's talk about that then. So it sounds like relationships, and it also sounds to me like your faith, both have been like a driving motivation in your success in entrepreneurship. So tell me about that more. How has the relationships that you have affected your journey? And then how has your faith played into your entrepreneur journey?
My relationships, well, faith is first and foremost, because when I came to this area, I was looking for a home, and if I didn't find a home, it was back to Lynchburg I'd go. And I didn't want to do that. And I just prayed really hard, and I'm like, I got to find a place. So I was riding down the street one day. I saw a house that said for rent on it. And mind you, I knew people that knew him. And he was like, you want to come in and look? So I did. And then he was like, if you want it, it's yours. And it was that simple.
Wow.
Never in my life. Usually you got to fill out credit applications and pay fees and all this stuff. He felt that this was for me. And I appreciate him for giving me that chance, because now look what it's turned into. I got a home for my kids. I got, I don't live very far from here. I ain't gonna tell y'all where I live. I don't want y'all from my neighborhood.
No, but that's nice. So you have a very short. So you went from having a 2-hour commute to now what, made less than 20-minute commute.
Less than 5 minutes.
Wow.
Less than 5.
So I see how you say your faith because you feel like this was orchestrated.
Yes, it was, and that's why I was like, okay, I'm put here for a reason. Now I gotta figure out what the reason is, and I figured out the reason, and now I gotta figure out how to make it work. And now that I'm here, now I'm just making it work, and to see where it can go and what it can do for the community.
I love that. Yeah. How are you? So you come in with the skills of, let's talk about that. So I'm assuming you have the skills of baking from your mom, right?
So my mom is a self-taught baker.
Uh-huh.
She learned on the internet, and that's where I learned from her. So my stuff comes from the internet as well.
Like YouTube University?
Yes, that's the school that I graduated from.
Well, you're doing pretty great with that education. I mean, you're doing pretty good.
But see, and that's when I'm all about resources. And I've always been that way. Like, younger, when I had my car, if I need to change a tire, I go to the internet, figure out how to change a tire. If I need to change a light bulb in a car, that's what I do. And you can go to the internet for anything.
I know.
And you have to have some sort of intelligence to know what's good and what's bad.
Right, yes.
Because the internet has everything, but you have to be able to weed through and figure out what's the best solution.
Right.
So
what's that journey been like, self-teaching yourself? Well, I'm sure you're also learning from your mom.
That's a tough journey because there's times where you may fail. I guess that's the proper word. If you're not successful, then you failed. But you use that failure and you learn from it and move on to the next thing.
Yeah, so you're learning as you go. So, so that skill you're learning, but what other skills in business or to run your business are you having to learn?
Things that I've learned a lot of business stuff from working with my mom, because while my mom has a business, she's all about the art and the product. She hates the business part of it. So that was my thing.
But yeah, some entrepreneurs because you go into it because it's sometimes of the love of the craft.
Right.
But then you realize, okay, I can monetize from this, but it doesn't mean that you're going to love the business aspect of it.
Well, she has some Facebook groups where they talk about the brick and mortar life. That's what it's called, the brick and mortar life. And they talk about the different things that they have to deal with every day, like dealing with employees. Like, oh my goodness, that's the worst. That is the worst.
So is this your first time?
I've had to deal with employees working with my mom. Like, we got to weed through I ain't gonna say nothing about that. But
it's
here,
difficult.
I've learned there, so it's easier for me to pick out people here and to know when to cut them loose if it's not working.
Right.
So I've learned that there's relationships with everybody in the community. Like the people, I'm in a shopping center, so to be able to have a relationship with all of these businesses right here, I could probably make it in my business alone with just these people here because it's a lot. But you got to have good stuff and good relationships with them to,
Yeah. Do you have any daily practices or routines that help you accomplish your goals, like personally and professionally?
Personally, I try not to take things personal,
That's
especially
good.
in the business.
Yeah.
Because we get some people in here that, well, not in here. I haven't had it happen here yet, but I know that it's coming, so I'm prepared for it. But you get people that just don't want to be happy. And they come in and try to spoil your happiness.
Yeah.
But you just got to not take it personal because they don't know you. They don't know your business. They just are unhappy people.
Always some unhappy people.
Yes. So not taking things personal and remembering that it's okay to sometimes not make it. But don't let it get you down and try a different way.
Yeah. So really, like, for you, it's been, like, mindset things.
Yeah.
Yeah, mindset is huge.
Yes. And it's mind over matter, to be honest. Like, some things are hard to see if you're thinking one way, but if you change the way you think.
Perception is everything.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all about how you view it. What's something you're doing to grow business, to get more, business in? Obviously, you're doing this podcast.
Yes, this is definitely one because I'm not one to be in front of the camera. I know it's hard to tell, but this is something that I have to do.
Yeah.
Because this is a form of marketing. This is a form of getting my business out there. And let me tell you, not too long ago, right after my show aired, I was supposed to be on the news, on News 12. And I got there, and they would not let me in because I was not at the time vaccinated.
Oh.
And I'm like, so y'all...
They didn't tell you ahead of time?
They didn't. It was miscommunication because it was between me and some other people, and things got lost. So I get there, and I'm like, oh, so y'all really about to do this segment without me? And it was like, yep.
Wow.
But so I have a friend that was with me, and he's definitely helped me a whole lot in this process.
I mean, I'm sure that had to be a huge letdown.
It was.
I mean, they're still highlighting you.
But listen, so he was with me, and I was like, hey, okay, we're here. Let's not waste this space. So he went in and plugged in everything I needed him to for my business. And as soon as they finished the segment, because it was live, I was getting phone calls left and right. I won't on the TV, but they know about my business.
Wow.
So
okay.
Sometimes you got to take an L to get a W. So
yeah, I love that. I love that you didn't let that become a missed opportunity too.
I had on makeup that day, so I wasn't gonna cry, but
yeah,
we made it work.
What's one thing that's working really well, and one thing that you're working on improving when it comes to your business?
One thing that's working really well is definitely using social media. Like a lot of people don't have time. I don't have time to.
Well, I love when you tell us what you have for the day.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I think, and the biscuits, y'all. I mean, I cannot wait till tomorrow morning.
I know that's right. Me neither.
Yes. So I love seeing that.
Yeah.
You know,
and I learned that from my mom because she's in graphic design and photography. So to have a good picture.
Oh yeah, you have really
stuff,
good pictures too.
If you and I noticed that like a while ago, my pictures was trash. You said something about the camera on my phone and how nice it is.
Yeah.
Back then, I didn't have a good camera, so my pictures was looking like some trash. And nobody was paying attention until I went and got a new phone, and all my pictures started looking different. That's when people were noticing. That's when the Food Network picked me up. They were like, "Oh, okay, now your page look worthy of us shouting it out." So that makes a big difference. So
how did you get on the Food Network channel? Tell us that story.
So my mom's been on Food Network, and this is one of those situations where it pays off to know people.
Yeah.
So she gets a lot of people that are asking, do you know somebody that would be good for this show? And it was my turn.
Yeah.
And that happened right before the pandemic. I was supposed to do the same show my mom did the first time, the Christmas Cookie Challenge, and that didn't happen because of COVID. And then, when things started letting up, they're coming back looking again, and I'm like, hey, you forgot about me. So, and I was very determined. I was like, look, I don't care what it is.
So I'm not gonna let this opportunity pass me by.
Just put me on. That's all I need.
Was it a great experience?
Oh, I loved it. I loved it to the point where I feel like that's something that I would love to do more permanently. It was nice.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
I can see it now.
Yeah. Me too.
I love that. So what would you say has been the most challenging thing about starting Joy Junior Treats? And then what do you feel like has been a highlight?
So the most challenging happens to be my personal life, like, because I'm a single mom, and it's definitely hard to juggle all of these kids, and getting here on time has been a very big struggle, and also finding a staff.
Right.
Like, I have people, but a lot of my staff are high school students that don't get here until late in the afternoon, which is not, like, I love them, but it's not beneficial to me during the day when I really need people. So, yeah, if y'all need a job.
Go ahead. Throw that job opening in. Yes. We'll put it in the show notes.
We pay like $2 an hour, so yes.
Stop it.
But that's been the biggest challenge, is
right.
trying to juggle my personal life and business life, and I'm trying to separate it and do better over here so things go well over here. But the highlight is that I'm meeting so many people, and I'm not from here, so to meet just people that it feels like I've known them forever, and learning so much from the community, being able to help the community, and that's the highlight.
Do you feel like Richmond has welcomed you with open arms?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
They have. Yeah. And that's why I've been here for so long, because if I didn't like it, I I mean, although I don't like Lynchburg very much, I would have rather gone back if it didn't work out here. So.
Yeah. There's a new business in town.
Golden Touch Mobile Detailing.
If you're in the Richmond, Virginia area and tired of riding dirty,
Or you appreciate a deep clean.
book an appointment with Golden Touch Mobile Detailing. It's not your average car wash. Full interior and exterior cleaning, and Golden Touch Mobile Detailing comes to you.
It's the attention to detail to make you a returning customer.
Follow the Instagram at Golden Touch RVA and book your appointment.
I guarantee you'll be riding clean.
So, tell us about the treats.
The treats, everything that I have is freshly made.
Nice.
And everything I make is based on everything that my mom makes, which is the name Joy Jr. So we have these giant cinnamon rolls.
I've had
that
them.
Everybody loves, and I love that everybody loves them because
Yeah.
that's my favorite treat.
They really are amazing.
But we've got cookies, we got cupcakes, we got macarons. We do so many different things. We do different flavors all the time, which is why I have to post them on the internet, on social media,
Right.
because I want people to see what's in the case today, because you're not going to know that when you get here, that same cupcake you had last week may not be here this week.
True, yeah.
So I just want you to know what we have and to be able to check to, I guess, what do you call it? Is the word corral? Like, get people to social media so they're paying attention. So before you ride over here, you can check Instagram and see what's going on over here.
That's exactly what we did too. You know, before the first time we came, we were like, all right, let's see, you see what she got. Yeah. I love that you do that. Social media is so influential. It can be so influential on your business, on your marketing.
My business would not be successful without it.
Yeah.
It
I
would
love
not
that.
be.
What have you learned about yourself through building your business?
I think one thing that I have learned is that I can be a nice person.
What?
I didn't think that for a while, but it's mellowing me out, because I used to be high stress being at home with three kids all day
So
long.
having a business isn't making you more stressed out?
No, it has not, because I feel like now I'm in a good balance of not being stuck at home all day. Not to say that I don't love my children, because I do love them.
I get, but you
and
have something of your own now.
But I do this for them.
Yeah.
Because it has been hard to balance, like, having a job but being a stay-at-home mom at the same time,
Yeah.
especially when it's just you and you don't have a second income to fall back on.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, let me create this, because that way I can control my schedule and make sure I'm there for my kids when they need me.
Yeah.
So I think I feel less stressed because I know that I have good income now, and I have some income, and that my kids can have me when they need me.
Yeah, I love that. Was that something you ever worried about, like financial, you know?
Oh yeah, I've been struggling most of my life, but that's just from being hard-headed and not listening. So that's one thing that I've definitely learned in the past couple of years, is that I was hard-headed and I don't need to continue to be that way. But
how did you figure that out, though? Because I just feel like so many people, you know, go into entrepreneurship, but their finances personally are a mess, and it just trickles over to business. So how did you, like, figure out, all right, this is where I can fix things to make sure I do this right and be profitable?
Well, I know for me personally, when it comes to finance, I need some steady income, and I didn't have that before. So I figured that this would be, because I've seen my mom do this would be a steady income, and that way, if things pop up, I'll have money to pay for whatever random things, like I need a new tire or something crazy like that. But
So for you, it was really just about creating a business that you knew you could have that, like, security.
Yes.
That steady income.
Yes, that's what I needed.
Nice. What advice do you have for people with entrepreneur dreams to help them get started?
Don't be afraid of failure. I had a lady come in recently, and she wanted to talk to me about how I did this. And a lot of people think that because you opened a business, that means you got money.
Oh, yeah, they did.
That is not the case.
case.
Not the case. If anything,
Usually you're not even profitable the first, you know.
5 years.
Yeah.
So if anything, they have less money than when they started. Because you get a lot of people coming in like, hey, can you donate to this? I'm like, I just opened last week. I ain't made no money yet. But she was worried about, like, quitting her job and just going full on with what she's doing. And I'm like, don't be scared. Just do it. Just
Put the
do
fear
it.
aside. Do it
Yeah.
afraid. You
Do
know.
it. Just do it.
And what advice do you have for entrepreneurs who are already business owners, but to help them keep going? Because the journey can be hard.
It is very hard. It is very hard, and I don't know because I'm not there.
Yeah.
I'm not there because
Well, what advice would what would you like to see yourself? Like, what do you tell yourself to keep you going?
well, I have no choice. I have people that have helped me become this successful, so now I feel good pressure to keep going because I don't want to let them down. I don't want to let my children down, and if I went and got a loan from the bank instead of doing the GoFundMe, first I would have gotten denied. But if I would have gotten approved, it's not the same feel.
Yeah.
That's just money I got to pay to a bank. That there's no personal relationship there. So now I have people that are personally invested in my business.
Right.
It keeps me going.
Yeah. And what do you think? What would you want people to know that makes Joy Junior Treats stand out from any other bakery?
So my thing here with Joy Junior Treats is, and my logo is not logo, excuse me. My motto is that I'm here to spread joy. So when you come to get treats, you get a good product, very good product, and you also get some joy along with it. My mom's motto is to treat yourself and spread the joy. So we've already treated ourselves. Now we're just here to spread the joy. And once you feel joy, and you want other people to feel that as well. So that's why I'm here. It's not just a cinnamon roll. You come in, we have a good conversation. I'm getting to know everybody, and it's not just a transaction.
Yeah.
It's a personal relationship with the cinnamon roll lady.
Well, I want that relationship, and I know my listeners do too. So I'm excited. I feel like I'm one of the first to catch on to you being here, and I'm like, y'all need to know. Y'all need to know about her. Y'all need to come out, and I'm rooting for you.
Thank you.
I really am.
Thank you so much.
I know a few things we wanted to make sure we spotlighted job openings. That we kind of chatted about it, but she's serious.
Oh yeah, I'm very serious.
There's job openings.
Yes.
You mentioned a business group meeting.
So when that lady came to me and asked me about what it takes to do something like this, it's a lot of people that ask me that. And I want us to get together. If you know about business, if you have a business, if you want to start a business, if you're too scared, or I want you guys to come to me and we're going to have us a little meeting right here once a month. And we're going to talk about it.
I see the Ground Up podcast collaborating with Joy Junior
Okay.
Treats.
Okay.
Yes, we're all about that.
So, and I don't know if I can plug this in, but like at my church, they did this thing called a Self-Reliance Initiative. And that's another thing that kind of helped me jumpstart with my business a long time ago, where they wanted to focus on you being self-reliant. You can't help other people until you help yourself. So they legit have these classes where you sit down, you go through this manual and this program where you talk about, you can do school, you can do business, you can do some other things, personal finances or whatever. But we did the business aspect. And in the beginning, it talks about what business is and what it takes to run a business. That way you can decide whether it's something you want to do or not. So that, like that lady, she came and that's the first thing she wanted to know. Is this something that I want to do or not?
I love that. I love that you truly do use your resources.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because they are out there. And I love that you see the value in collaborating with other people, creative minds, and spreading your knowledge.
Yeah. So speaking of collaborating, I'm not one to just stick to one thing because I don't like to be one note because it gets boring. Like, I love treats. I love hair. But I like just being creative in general.
Same.
So collaborating with a friend that makes candles is 0108 Candles. And we're going to do a line of candles for Joy Junior Treats.
Love it.
And they will smell just like our treats.
I love that.
So look for that, and I'm excited about that. And we'll post
Serial
that on the social media.
entrepreneur.
Yes, is that what it's called?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. You ready to play this game?
Yeah, let's play.
Let's do it. Would you rather this or that?
Okay.
All right. This or that. Gingerbread or ginger snaps?
Ginger snaps.
Ginger snaps. Would you rather be stuck in traffic with a good playlist or stuck in traffic with a good friend?
Ooh, that's tough.
Isn't it?
Ooh, a playlist.
The playlist. This or that. Christmas tree up after Thanksgiving or Christmas tree up before Thanksgiving?
After Thanksgiving, for sure.
Same. I mean, do it whatever makes you happy. But
I still don't have my tree.
no, wait, what?
Don't judge me.
Don't do that, y'all.
Don't judge me. I've been busy, so if somebody wants to come put my tree up, they can.
Would you rather be known for your business sense or your street smarts?
Street smarts.
Street smarts.
Street smarts.
Business sense for me. I don't know if I got much street smarts.
I mean, my business sense comes from my street smarts. So.
I feel you. Hustle. Kristen, how can the listeners reach you?
They can reach me on all social media points, even though I might not be on there all the time, but at Joy Junior Treats on everything, on Facebook, Instagram, even TikTok.
Even TikTok. I'll have it all in the show notes. Thank you so much.
you
This
for
has been a
having me.
pleasure. And I know the listeners are going to listen, learn, and be inspired.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Ground Up Podcast. If you like what you hear, hit that subscribe button, rate, and leave a review. You can find us on Instagram at the Ground Up Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and if you're really feeling us, become a Patreon, or as we like to call them, a friend of the podcast.